Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you're new here, and if you're not and you're probably wondering where in the world have you been, you probably missed my last video where I talked about why I left YouTube, what my future plans are for this channel, and just a few other updates. But one of the things that I did mention in that video was wanting to do like a 6-month transformation. And although yes, I'd like to focus heavily on losing weight, there's quite a few other things that I want to implement, and just things that I think will help me with mental health, emotionally, and just a few other things that I'd like to focus on. So I have an all-encompassing list here that I put together that I want to share with you all today. And if you want to join, I would really enjoy that. The more the merrier. I feel like, any support that I can get will help. More than anything, I'm sharing this to keep me accountable because I think 6 months out of my life, that's nothing, but it's actually doing it, staying consistent. I'm great at planning, but when it comes to actually executing, that's what I have issues with. So I think just keeping myself accountable, sharing it with you all. I do have my husband and my mom that are joining me on this journey. So if you would as well, and there's something that I didn't mention on this list, please feel free to leave it down below. So maybe it's something I want to add to my list or somebody else will want to add to theirs. I got started on the 8th of October, and right now we're the 17th of October today that I'm filming. So just a week of doing a few of these things, and I'm starting to already notice a difference. My mental health and just physically as well. I've already dropped 3 pounds in just the last week and a half or so. So that's really exciting. But I'm just gonna jump right in and grab a pen, paper, jot down a few of these if you'd like to do them as well. So the first thing is going to be getting 8 hours of sleep. Sleep deprivation for me does not do, I don't do very well with sleep deprivation. I don't think anybody does, but I do have anxiety. I did have postpartum depression, postpartum rage at one point, and I definitely notice a difference when I don't get enough sleep. So I have been trying to focus on getting 8 hours of sleep. My 3-year-old is finally starting to sleep through the night, so I can really focus on trying to get a straight, 8 hours of sleep. Next thing is going to be waking up early. But if I want to wake up early, I'll have to go to sleep early. My husband goes to work at about 6 in the morning, so that gives me about an hour, give or take, to play with, spend some time in the Word, or maybe do a little exercise or something where I have just alone time, because I truly do need that. I notice that if I wake up the same time my kids do, I have like zero patience throughout that day, and it's not a good start to my morning. So I want to wake up for sure earlier than my kids do. Next thing is spend at least drinking 60 ounces of water daily. I do have a 30-ounce Stanley that I carry around with me every single day. I also have a 40-ounce, but I've noticed that the 30-ounce to me is more practical. It's lighter when it's filled with water versus the 40-ounce. I use that one like if I go out to the park or go out to the store or something, that I can carry more water. But for the most part, I carry around this 30-ounce, and I'd like to drink at least 2 of these. But I do drink up to maybe 4 or so. So at least two of these. Next thing is drinking calming tea every night, whether it's natural calm or chamomile tea or something, lavender even, something that's going to help you to wind down and to bring down your stress of the day. I know for me, decision fatigue and constantly being needed by somebody, the touching all the time from your kids, or mom, all of that can really, really do take a toll on your mental health. And I just feel like for me, I need some like calming tea or something to bring down all of that stress of the day. Next thing is exercising 4 to 5 times a week. I know this is a very bold goal because I'm doing nothing at the moment, like no exercise or anything, which I know sounds horrible. And I always joke around with my husband and my mom. I tell them that I was healthier when I was pregnant versus now. But because both pregnancies, I worked out up until 9 months. I did the Knocked Up Fitness program, which I really enjoyed doing. But then I gave birth, and then after that, it was like I kind of just didn't do anything. Then I got pregnant again, did it again, and now I am where I'm at right now. So I've put on some weight, and I want to put some focus on that again. I do want to do like body weight workouts, calisthenics, weight training. For me, I've noticed that I tend to get better results with those kind of workouts versus just cardio. Cardio, it's nice because you see the number drop a lot quicker than if you're doing weight training, but you also notice a lot more loose skin. You're not as toned. So for me, I'd like to stick to those kind of workouts. I used to be a Beachbody coach at one point for a short amount of time, and so I do have a lot of the programs still. I do have the MMA Fitness one, so I'll probably integrate a few of those throughout the week as well. Next thing is walking 2 times a week at least. And the reason I say just 2 times is because our local park has a track that's about a mile long, but it's at a park. So every time that I go with my kids, it's mommy, I want to slide. Mommy, I want to go in the swings. Mommy, I want to go play. And that's every 30 seconds to every minute. So I want to do it on days where like my husband or my mom can watch them. It's not that I don't want to take them, but I'm there to walk, not to play. So I'd like to just put my headphones in, you know, focus on my walk, and that's it. So next thing is reading and journaling daily. I am a pretty avid reader, so I don't mean reading like fiction, nonfiction. I more so mean like spending time in the Word, getting back to reading the Bible. That's something that I really focused on a couple of years ago, and it kind of just stopped after kids and all. I want to get back into that, back into Bible journaling, also just journaling for personal, issues that are going on at the moment. I do have a few personal issues that are going on that I don't really want to share online, but I've noticed just in the last week, journaling has also really helped me to just jot down my feelings, get it out of my head. So that's really helping me as well. Next thing is cutting out negativity, kind of going back to reading the Bible. I feel like that's going to help with that. Also having a daily smoothie. I have a Ninja blender at the moment, but I feel like it doesn't blend as good as the NutriBullet. So I did borrow my mom's NutriBullet so I can get back into having a daily smoothie. Next thing is drinking 0 Cokes. I am a big fan of Coke Zero. I know it's not the greatest for you, and I actually prefer it over Diet Coke, and I don't really drink any other Cokes other than Coke Zero, but I'd like to just cut that out completely, just drink water. I'd like to brew some fresh unsweet tea to have in the fridge, and I do drink decaf coffee in the morning, but I don't put any sugar. I'll just put a little bit of milk and then have my tea, but that's really what I'd like to stick to drinking. Next thing is getting dressed every morning. I feel like this helps a lot with my mood and just to get me feeling productive and wanting to tackle this list basically, because if I stay in my pajamas till 11 sometimes, which I'm guilty of, my daughters, I do the same thing. I'm guilty of like letting them stay in their pajamas like throughout homeschool and then changing them afterwards. But I've noticed, again, I'm not as productive. I want to get back in bed. So I'd really like to focus on getting dressed, and I'm getting them into their own little routine as well. Because at the end of the day, for me, like this is my job and I want to treat it as such. Getting up, brushing my teeth, fixing my hair, getting dressed, and just treating it as my job, which is truly, in reality, that's what it is. And just I want my kids to also see me getting into that routine so that they can also do that for themselves. Next thing is praying and meditating multiple times a day. Okay, my battery died. So I was saying my next one was praying and meditating multiple times a day, which goes back to like reading the Bible. A lot of the times that I have like a negative thought that creeps in, I tend to like overthink it, or I'll just like focus on that, or like something happens where I'll lose my patience or something, and it's just like, why did I do that? Instead of reaching out to the Lord and just asking Him for forgiveness, asking Him for His strength, for His wisdom, whatever it may be, I tend to really just focus on that negative thought or whatever it may be. So I want to focus on reaching out to the Lord every time that I have a thought like that, or if I'm down on myself or something and I start criticizing myself, just reaching out, asking for His grace or whatever it may be. I'd like to do that. And also maybe meditating, if I'm it might not be actually sitting down in complete silence, but if I'm on the road with my girls, instead of listening to a podcast or something, just really focusing on talking to the Lord and spending that one-on-one time with Him. Next thing is stretching daily. When I was pregnant, I was really good about this. I stretched morning and night, and I really did not have any cramps or anything. I was very limber, but it was just funny how I joked with my husband the other day, because I found a reel and it said something like when you're in your 30s, and it was a guy that was getting up off the bed and he was like, his back was cracking and everything, and I told my husband, I was like, that's me. Like, I'm in my 30s, I'm 33, okay, and I feel like I can't even sit on the floor for too long because my legs go into cramps, my back starts hurting, getting off the couch, it feels like my back's gonna break, and I'm like, okay, this is horrible, I should not be feeling this way. So getting back into stretching as well as the exercising and the walking should really help with that. Next thing is setting time aside for work. Instead of, like I said, crawling back in bed during my girls' nap time, I'd like to focus on my Etsy shop, doing a few new creations that I'm going to be adding to my shop, also editing YouTube videos, creating new videos, and also working on my website. So those are things that I'd like to really focus on. I'm adding to my schedule, and already, like I said, the past week I've already noticed a difference for that, or with that. Last thing is going to be budgeting. I feel like my husband and I are finally in a place where we can start the Dave Ramsey plan. We've been talking about it for a while, but just never really like put too much focus on it. So my husband did purchase the book. We're going to both be reading it together and start our own budgeting plan and start with the baby steps and all. So that may be something I can share with you if you are planning on doing the same thing for a future video or something. But that is all that I will be focusing on for the next 6 months. Again, I'd really love to have you join. The more the merrier, and I really just need that support, and I'd like to really stay accountable. So I will be sharing over on Instagram at least maybe once a week or something. Just share what I'm doing, maybe a new recipe or maybe a clip of me working out. I don't know yet, but please make sure you're following me over on Instagram. I'll make sure to have my handle down below in the description. Thank you so much for stopping by. I will see you in my next video. Bye.